Hello everybody and welcome to another DCME feature release video. Firstly, I'd like to start by wishing you all a happy new year, and I hope everybody had a good festive season. This will be the first of many feature releases where we're going to be adding more value to the system, offering you more functionality which will allow you to run your business more effectively and efficiently. So as you can see, the first thing we've done is reorganize the menus. So the menus have been reorganized in a more logical way. The same functionality exists plus new functionality as of today. We'll go through the new functionality later in this video, but hopefully, you know, with the menus reorganized in a more logical manner, things will be easier to find moving forwards. So one of the main areas that we focused on in this release is improving our rotoring and scheduling functionality. We know as companies grow, this can become quite a time-consuming part of the working week. So we wanted to make this process a lot more efficient and a lot more quicker and smoother for you all. So let us jump in and show you some of the new functionality. So firstly, we can now clone days. So what that means is I can clone a member of staff's day, for example. So if I assign some appointments to myself, what I can do I can then clone this day. So as you can see, I've assigned 2 appointments to myself on Monday the 8th. If I now want to clone that day to a different day or to a different staff member, I can click clone selective days, select the staff member, select the date that we did the clone for, which was the 14th, I believe. It wasn't the 14th, it was the 8th. I can either select all of the appointments for that day or just 2 or just 1. So let's select all, and I want to clone that from the 8th, and I want to apply that to today's date, which is the 12th, but I want to apply it to a different member of staff. So let's apply it to Jim Black for the 12th, clone and save. As you can see now, if I check Jim Black's rota, you will see that those 2 appointments have been added to his system. You can select multiple days and you can apply them to different staff members, the same staff members on different days of the week. This will make things very quicker with your rotoring process. We now have the option to export the rotas in Excel and PDF, and that's both staff members' rotas if they wanted a paper copy or they wanted an emailed copy, and the service users' rotas. We have the option now to mark multiple days as overtime. So what that means is if I wanted to, for example, I had a staff member that I wanted to give some overtime because they were working on their day off, what I could do is simply, rather than before you'd have to select each day, you can now mark both the days as overtime. We can't mark the 12th yet because that's not been completed. So if I mark that as overtime, we click mark as overtime, select the appointments, mark as overtime, and you'll see that that has now been marked as overtime for, Daniel Lawrence. Okay, I couldn't select the 12th because I had no appointments allocated. So if I had appointments allocated on the 12th, we could have marked those as overtime. We can now unassign appointments by selective days. So for example, if I've made a rotoring error and I need to unassign all those appointments, whereas before you would have to click on single appointments, what you can now do is unassign by selected days. So let's do today, let's do staff member, select them both, unassign, and as you will see now, if I go to Jim's rota for that week, he will have no appointments assigned to them. let's go to the HR section. In the HR section now, we have character references, so you can send off for character references and employment references. We will be adding a lot more videos to the console in the training and resources, and you will be able to see, tutorial section, you will be able to see videos for how to do all of the functionalities, that we have in the console. So there's a new HR section. We've added a finance section. Now this is something I know a lot of you are interested in. This allows you to now send invoices to your service users directly from the console. So let me show you how this works. So firstly, what you do is go to the services master. Now the services master is your different rates that you charge. So let's show you what we do. We add one in. So let's say we select the service name. So we say Monday to Friday, or let's say weekday hourly rate, weekday hourly rate. Let's say we charge £27 per hour. Now we can have multiple instances of that. You can have weekend hourly rate, weekday half hour rate, weekend bank holiday hourly rate, all the charges that you're likely to offer, charge your service users. Now let's generate an invoice. So what we do, we go to invoice, we'll create invoice, select the service user, let's do Barbara Babel. As you can see now, the invoice address is pre-populated with the email address that has been added to the system. Invoice date, let's say today, we're generating the invoice. Due date, we want it paid by the 19th. Now we want one line, and we want to have, say for example, they've had, the service date was the 8th, and they had 1 hour or 2 hours on the 8th. So they've had 2 hours of care on the 8th. Now you can add multiple lines here. They had some on the 10th as well. They had an hour on the 10th. It adds it up as your total. And then what you would do is click submit. This will then email it to the service user as like this. They will then receive an invoice like this, which shows them the details of the invoice, and then they will then pay that. We've also updated some of the settings, so you now have tutorials that should be visible. We've got a support section, so if you have any issues with support, you can raise a support ticket, and that will automatically go through to our support team. You can attach a video or a picture, so we can see the issue and investigate it and get back to you instantly. So there have also been some other superficial changes to the system. You can now add an NHS number and a key code, but let's not prolong the video, and I'll give you guys the opportunity to learn and see some of the new changes whilst you're using the system. We hope that you're happy with the new features and expect to see some more great features coming soon. So that's it from us today, and we look forward to providing you with a bigger and better DCME system for the rest of the 2024. DCME, domiciliary care made easier.